Carolina Precision Machining, Summit, Hot Wheels, Hoosier Racing Tires.
David Lancaster, my friend, we are finally back racing for the 2020 season. It's been a long off season, with all of the supposed virus and things that's going on, and had everything in the world hampered. But, fortunately, we are in nature. We are out here not only at a drag strip, but we are just a couple of miles away from one of the entrances to the Daniel Boone National Forest. And David, I think you got quite a bit of interesting details about that.
Well, I did. It was such a beautiful ride in here to London Dragway to get here, and I started looking it up. The Daniel Boone National Forest, established in 1937, over 700,000 acres of untouched land. It's just an absolute gorgeous. I've never driven to a racetrack and come through something so beautiful. Yeah. And I just got to looking at a few things, and annually they have about 2.5 million people who visit this. And then we got this great drag strip right out here, and I couldn't just get over the drive-through. It was beautiful.
Well, it is a very picturesque drive coming into this racetrack. And talk about a backyard, 700,000 untouched acres. That's a backyard, folks. Well, David, the backyard is just that, the backyard to this beautiful drag strip here in London, Kentucky. And, we're just talking, qualifying is over, and we're getting ready to start eliminations. But, man, what a competitive group of cars in every category.
This is exactly what Quayne Stott has envisioned since the beginning of this. We've got tight numbers separating first through third in qualifying. We got 32 cars in our B-gas field. And Tim Bailey, our defending 2019 world champion, sits 10th right now after 2 rounds of qualifying, letting you know how tough that B-gas is.
That's a tough category.
And I know A-gas, Kenneth Phillips, is really holding the banner high up there in A-gas, because he is, again, on the pole after a torrid pace that he's been on at the end of 2019 to be our A-gas world champion. And
you bring that up, no doubt, Kenneth Phillips has got the entire A-gas category in a stranglehold, David. If my memory serves me correct, I'm pretty certain he won the last 3 straight events last year in 2019, clinching the championship. Then we had a little season opener warm-up in Union, South Carolina about a month ago. He won that in the A-gas category. And if he wins today, and the odds are in his favor from a qualifying standpoint, and the fact that Kenneth is a great driver, he rarely makes a mistake, that could be a total of 5 straight wins. Talk about domination. Talk about a stranglehold on the competition.
He's got his car tuned in and dialed in with his motor combination, that Gene Fulton motor that he's got. That car literally goes straight. Now, we've seen him be erratic in years past. He's really concentrated, and he's got it going in the right direction. I think he's giving credit to Billy Edwards a lot for helping him getting that car straightened out. And, buddy, he is on a ripping pace.
He is, and Billy Edwards is certainly one where credit can certainly be given, because he certainly deserves it. He is very instrumental in working with a lot of these cars. But, David, the next thing we've got is SEGAS, Todd Oden.
Todd Oden sitting on the pole right now, and George Miller and Josh Pruitt. Miller is getting to be a player in this SEGAS category.
Absolutely.
Pruitt has been there. He is a consistent qualifier, but those 3 are separated by the smallest of margins in this SEGAS. It's going to be a tough battle all the way around here in London, Kentucky today.
There's no question about it. David, it just obviously lays out some great drag racing. And then, we do have to come to terms with the fact that over the winter, Southeast Gassers Association lost a number of its members, and to that, our condolences go out to the families. Our hearts are with you, but we all know, David, that those folks would have wanted the Southeast Gassers Association to endure and to continue, and I'm happy to report that we're all healthy and we are continuing in the light of all the things going on in the world, that good old-fashioned drag racing still alive and well.
It really is, and, it's brought the family a little tighter. Sometimes death does that. God picks beautiful flowers and takes them to heaven, as my grandmother always said. Took some of our beautiful flowers, some of our friends, but it just brought us closer together. You can already feel that in Friday night, having dinner with, how we cook out and do things. It's really, really brought us tighter together.
Wonderful analogy I'd never thought of is, God picked him some flowers, and to that I would say he certainly did, and some beautiful ones he picked. And with that, David, qualifying is over, as we've already stated. I'm ready for racing. I know you ready for. I know Kentucky and Daniel Boone is ready for racing. What do you say we get on with it?
Let's get it on, Mitch. Superstock round number 2. There's our number 1 qualifier, Mark Hackett out of Lebanon, Tennessee. He dispatched Brian Olds in the first round to make it here to second round. Zach Long from Batesburg, South Carolina in the other lane. He took care of Rich Norton in the first round to make it here to match up against the Mercury Poison out of Lebanon, Tennessee of Mark Hackett.
David, old Mark Hackett, you know, he coming off of last season's number 2 points finish, which was just basically tied with Mark Peffley for number 1, so a very strong contender. Zach Long and the Brass Monkey has got a job cut out for it today, my friend. Zach may have made it to the second round, but he's going to have to fight to get into the third round. Didn't happen. Mark Hackett taking the win, leaving Zach Long not even in the same zip code. Robert Peffley, talking about last year's champion, here he is in the 4-speed Stampede, David.
He's taking on Tommy Luther out of Kannapolis, North Carolina, who's driving Rick Varner's second entry. And this is a car that has rumored to go back all the way to Grumpy Jenkins in the Jenkins competition days.
And Robert taking out Ben Rivers in the first round, and Tommy Luther taking out Houston Neese in the first round. That's how these guys got here. Let's see who goes to the third round. Peffley with a good start. I do believe he had some advantage over Luther, and it looks like that the Plymouth is going to pull it through again, David.
Yeah, that's a great looking shot right there on the top end. See a little smoke coming out of Luther's car, having a little trouble there at the top end. There's our number 2 qualifier, the dirt man himself that we just mentioned, Rick Varner out of Kannapolis, North Carolina in that beautiful Chevy. And he's taking on Dale Morton out of Dallas, North Carolina in the 1957 Ford that he calls Lucille.
And Rick Varner putting Todd Poteet on the trailer round number 1, and then Dale Morton putting Kyle Bohem Kipper. I'm sorry, I can't say that, but he was running the Bisquick Impala in round number 1 Superstock. So those guys didn't make it. These two did. Now, David, I gotta say, I am happy to see a Chevrolet qualified up at least number 2. Superstock needed some good performance Chevrolets, and this year Rick Varner has brought them. Looked like a pretty even line lead. Dale Morton making some gear changes, a little bit of steering correction. Who's going to come out on top? There is the Chevrolet, the dirt man, Rick Varner.
Yeah, Varner did a great job right there of gathering that car up, had a little sachet in it. As we move on to C-Gas round number 2 coming up right here. And the next pair we got up, that's going to be George Miller. He's out of Indiana. He's going to take on that longtime veteran Jimmy Huff out of Loganville, Georgia in the Hoopty Wagon.
And George Miller taking out Dana Castro in round number 1, the quick draw. And then Jimmy Huff putting Steve Bright, the Carolina Flash. An interesting note, this is Steve Bright, first year racing with us, but he didn't make it to the second round. But Jimmy Huff did. So did George Miller. Who's going to make it to the third round?
George Miller's going to take the win right here. Look at that margin of victory. Jimmy Huff just can't catch up in that Hoopty Wagon. But running that good car out of Indiana that George Miller has put together.
That he did. One-way heads and a few guys like that putting things together for George Miller on his engine program. Jimmy Huff, a good engine builder on his own right, but right now it's all Todd Oden. As Todd Oden takes a bye run down through here. Now the thing is, Todd Oden, he put who on the trailer first round?
Well, he had a bye run the first round because he's the number 1 qualifier.
Exactly, he did. Therefore, that run was a competition single, I believe. Now, here's Josh Pruitt, the same thing. Now, Josh Pruitt, his first round opponent broke, giving him a competition single. Now, Josh actually had a bye run, from what I can see, in this second round. Now then,
we move on to the third pair right here. That's going to be Larry Fuller driving the Stud Muffin. Golly, he is keeping those RPMs way up on the line as that car took a while to get in. He's running Charlie Lee out of Tennessee in the other lane, and Charlie Lee looks like he's going to take that Chevrolet-powered Ford
Mustang
to the victory right there.
You know, Charlie Lee putting that Stud Muffin car on the trailer. I had an interview with Charlie Lee. Maybe we'll get to talk with him here in a little bit. Pretty interesting guy, I got to tell you. So a lot of fun that I think he's going to bring to Southeast Gassers. Now here we've got
Larry Noel's going to be in the left lane in that newly repainted 1955
Chevy. He's going to be taking on TJ McKee in that Chevy 2 over there. Now, Larry left late. Larry, I'm sorry you did. TJ McKee capitalizing on that, but TJ couldn't carry it through. Larry Noel taking the win. We're going to move right on to the B-Gas round number 2. 32 cars entered here today, and here is, look at this matchup right here. Could be a final round in any matchup. Second round, we find Tim Bailey running Jerry Birch right here, and what a matchup this is. No doubt about it, David. It's wonderful to see those guys in competition. Jerry Birch putting Gary Smith, the chicken bone, on the trailer first round. Tim Bailey putting Rick Garner on the trailer first round with the dirt man that he's running in B-Gas. Now, look at this finish. Jerry Birch just carrying it through, but taking out Tim Bailey. Last year's champion. I tell you, competition for B-Gas this year is something else. Danny Bird, our eldest competitor today. I'm not sure Danny's age right at this moment, but he is up there. Let me tell you right now, David, do you know his age? 79 years old. Boy, I tell you, and still dropping clutches, shifting gears, and turning steering wheel. Smoking the tires. Danny Bird, I hear you, buddy. There he goes, coming through. That was right there. Putting the pumping wild wings on the trailer. I tell you what, I got to tell you, Michael Walters does a great job. Danny Bird doing a great job. Danny Bird clearly won that drag race, David. Black Betty going to be in the right lane. That's Bill Revels. He's going to be taking on Todd Napier, the Atomic Hillbilly out of Oliver Springs, Tennessee, in the left lane. And how did they get here, Mitch? Got to switch pages. There's so many race cars in B-Gas right now. We couldn't keep up with it. Todd Napier putting Todd Rosenberry up in the 2 bumpy Chevy 2 on the trailer first round. And Daniel Hayes got put on the trailer by Bill Revels. Daniel had a mess up on the starting line, but nonetheless, in this round, Todd Napier taking the win. The Atomic Hillbilly. All right, here's another great matchup. Wayne Swafford out of Campobella, South Carolina, in that new car on the left. He's going to be taking on Zach Hall out of Bluntville, Tennessee. Zach had that car in A-Gas last year, made some changes, now got it in B-Gas, and it's a strong runner. And Wayne Swafford putting Dan Hogan on the trailer first round, and my goodness, Zach Hall putting victory on the trailer first round. Now, here we come, busted loose, taking on the Moonbeam over here. These 2 guys are rather new racing with us. I got to tell you, I am tickled to death to see Colby Welch out here racing. Him putting Kelvin Cannon on the trailer, sitting into his day, first round. Ray Fassel putting Adam Lohorn, Mr. World Standing, Rod Slinger himself on the trailer. But in this particular race, this is going to come out to King David. I tell you, Colby Welch and that little rancher over there, you can see it still doing wheelies down the racetrack, putting the bus on the trailer. This round was that great race right there. You saw the margin of victory just over a car length. Troy Leitner moving into B-Gas this year, and Troy Leitner got a brand new body, and I mean a physical body. He has underwent a transformation in his own line, and he is running well, taking on Mike Blackwell right here. And extremely proud of him for doing so. Mike Blackwell is being horrible as far as the starting line. Nothing he can do to make up a difference with that.
And B-Gases doesn't have no small fries in it, but you just took out a pretty big fish over there with Mr. Mike Blackwell. You know, that is a fast car, and to put that in the trailer, you doing something right today, Troy.
Well, I can owe it all to Tim Hall's motor. He done a good job on the motor, and we've been pretty lucky here today, and I'm really tickled to be able to be winning some rounds for a change.
Well, that's 2 rounds out of a 32-car field that you've got to contest today, so you're going to have to win 5 rounds, brother. Ain't going to be no easy feat, but so far so good. Well, you need to know what the challenge lies ahead are. But I will say this, you may have a good motor, and I'm sure you do, but I got to tell you, I was watching that round. You drove the car well that time as well, Troy. A good reaction time, smooth on the starting line. It looked to me like you got everything the car had to offer out of that run, perhaps when you needed it most.
Well, coming from you, that makes me feel like a winner already. I appreciate that, Mitch.
Well, then consider yourself a winner.
All right, David, we've got the Greenhorn Hillbilly coming up here, taking on Brian Dalton. Brian Dalton doing a great job right there leaving. He has worked so hard on that race car. Look at the wheels up for Brian Dalton in the left lane. But I tell you what, TJ TJ is just put a massive change in that car this year, and he is too much to handle. All right, here we're going to take a ride in a hot rod Chevy 2 Agent Orange, driven by none other. Good Lord, how
Dean Jonas.
Dean Jonas. Now,
Dean Jonas out of Mount Holly, North Carolina.
that he is, David, and Dean, he won an event last year. He qualified good, he made rounds, but he's only won one win. Now, I got to tell you, Dean is needing another win. Now, what you want you to take from this run right here, when we go back to that in-car camera, is just look at some of the things that take place. This is a cool shot. I really love this shot right here. You see it going to stage. Now watch the hand and footwork and go down the racetrack. This is a pretty cool shot, David, I gotta say.
I love that, Mitch. This is my first time seeing it on camera. I knew we were trying to get this. Look at Dean working that cockpit. Look how smooth that car goes down the racetrack.
And you can see Leslie Horn just pulling away over there. Dean, I think too bad today, buddy. That chick magnet out of the horsepower good. Now, another good matchup. Steve Davis, old Spinny, taking on the beautiful, beautiful 56 Chevrolet
Of Justin Moses out of Brownsville, Georgia. Justin sitting right there, got that big block in there. But Speedy was too quick on the line, and look at that 383 cubic inches under the hood for Steve Davis taking the win.
Gabriel Burrow, Southern Flyer coming up. This right here is a little bit of an age-old matchup. I got to tell you, Alan Golden and the Swamp Monster team, they've beat up on old Gabriel over the years. He's never put him on the trailer, but he's got the start line advantage today and some new horsepower in that thing. Oh, my good Lord, look at the jubilation of the family and the crew right there.
Gabriel Burrell, that had to be some sweet revenge right there. I know that those guys, old Swamp Monsters, give you a fit a few times in the past, and to do it with such driving style, I might add, drill him on the tree, put the Corvette back into Florida swamps.
I've watched him come around me a lot of times in high gear, and when I shucked it in high gear this time, I looked back and I couldn't see him. I knew he wasn't going to come back around this time. He was a lot faster, but my left foot was.
Here's the second round of A-Gas. I think we may have failed to mention that when we switched over to A-Gas. Kenneth Phillips on a bye run right here. Now there again, Kenneth is just one of those drivers. Last year's champion. He finished number 2 in the points the year before that. This guy's a serious threat. Now if you want to see just how fast the car leaves the start line, watch the hand move. This is cool. This thing will disappear in a hurry.
That's what A-Gas is all about right there, with pure speed. You dubbed them the kings
Every
of the
once and
sport.
again, the Southeast Gassers Association is blessed to have a gentleman like Tommy Jones come through the gates. And if you don't know Tommy Jones has basically spent his lifetime in drag racing. I mean, next thing I know, you show up at a Southeast Gasser event. What drug you out here after all that drag racing?
I knew he started this, and I'll tell you, in my wildest dreams, I didn't realize how big this deal was. I never realized you had all the different classes. I'm just fortunate enough to be close to this race, and I wanted to come. And I've just been amazed at what y'all have done. I mean, you guys have done a great job, Mitch, you and Quayne and the whole group. And I know it's been a building process, and working with all these tracks, I know it's been a great experience. And to look around here and see this place packed with people, and it's just a good thing to see with old school, what I call old school technology. It just amazes me. And again, there's no delay boxes. There's no electronics in here. It's put your foot on the gas, let the clutch loose, and hang on. And I can tell by watching some of these guys, that's exactly it. It's hanging on sometimes.
You know, Quayne's vision in this, Tommy, was to recreate drag racing as it originally was, as close as possible. Countless naysayers, this won't work, that don't work. But there was one thing for certain. Everything they tried before didn't work. And they didn't do it the way that Quayne envisioned doing it. And with that being said, Tommy, yes, there's no Band-Aids out here. You drive this car. If you man enough, woman enough to drive this car, then get in it and drive it. We don't play any of the other stuff. And yes, the 4-speed, the raw mechanical action, the bullying, manhandling, if you will, these cars down the racetrack, that's what made drag racing great then. Was the motive to do this anyway, was to preserve true drag racing history. And Would you say we've done that?
Oh, you've absolutely done it. I mean, everything period correct, from the big old long ladder bar to the the wheels that are all original, the old school wheels, and I mean, yes, the straight axles, the whole deal. It's just, you've done an amazing job recreating it, and it's exciting to watch. And I know for you and Quayne, it's got to be exciting to be a part of.
Well, you just spoiled my last question. Was this going to be your last?
No, this will not be my last. And
What a great interview right there, Mitch, as we see Hoosier Racing Tire making that special spec tire for our Superstock division as we move into round number 3 of Superstock.
David, here we see the aforementioned. We talked about these two guys, number 2 qualifier, and then I think was Peffley number 1 qualifier?
He was number 3 here today.
Number 3. Hackett has been number 1.
Hackett number 1. Number 2 is going to be Rick Varner right there in the left lane. So number 2 versus number 3 right here on the line now.
Number 3, that's an odd thing to say for Robert Peffley, last year's champion and the curator of the Superstock category in Southeast Gassers. But in this one right here, there ain't no favors, there ain't no gimmies. This is a drag race. Chrysler Chevrolet, one that wins on Sunday, sells on Monday. Let's see what happens. They're going into the stages. There's Peffley stage. Varner taking his time. This is a drag race, David.
And a very good one it is, as you see him get off the line right there.
I tell you what, Superstock is just an exciting category. Everybody running that Hoosier spec tire, and today Rick Varner putting it to the test. The besting Robert Peffley. Robert Peffley's going to be one of the Plymouths that ain't in the final.
Well, that is a remarkable stat, but the remarkable margin of victory that you saw that Rick Varner put on him right there.
That was impressive, David.
You don't see that every day, because Robert Peffley usually is in our final too.
Yeah, that he is. Now then, Mr. Mark Hackett, the mercury poison, you got to let that sink in. You know, mercury will kill without anything. And I tell you, he believes he's going to kill the competition this year. He's on a bye run here. Mark Hackett running it through, making sure that his tune-up is enduring. Now listen to this. That is Superstock, ladies and gentlemen. That is a cool hot rod C-Gas round number 3. And I tell you what, because of the absolute large number of cars, we've got bye runs, we've got competition singles today. Larry Noel on a single pass right there, just taking it easy. Nothing special going on with that one. But now, here we're going into a situation where Todd Hogan is taking on Charlie Lee Jr. out of Tennessee. And Charlie Lee may have won in the first round.
Being your first
did you
year
see
out with the
Godzilla
Southeast
over there?
Gassers Association, not only your first year out, but your first event out, and not only your first event out with the Southeast Gassers, but your first time ever running a professional category by means of Pro Tree, heads up, no breakout. You've just made your second round win, and you've put a couple of good seasoned racers on the trailer. There's some kind of secret sauce in here, or Charlie Lee just always been good at racing?
It's just my dad building a motor, you know. Yep, makes it fast.
So Charlie Lee Sr.
Yeah.
built some Chevrolet horsepower to go into a Mustang body. Now, is there anything secret about the Chevrolet in a Ford body?
Nothing that I know of, no.
So you're just trying to be as confusing as you can.
Yeah, pretty much.
There again, David. Charlie's a kind of comical guy. You just got to give it to him. But now, I'm going to tell you, he ain't confused Todd Oden. Todd Oden knows how to drag race, and this is going to be a good one. If Charlie Lee takes this, I got to tell you, that man has just impressed me. You take on King Kong, you better be ready.
Yeah, you don't knock out the world champion for 2017 and the guy that's perennially in there. He gave him a good run right there. You saw the margin of victory. But Todd Oden marches on and keeps that number 1 qualifier in the show today.
That it is. Now then, we've got Josh Pruitt, Mr. Youngblood, definitely a race winner of past, definitely a guy that you find in the latter round. Taking on George Miller, the Falcon Crazy, I think they call this thing. Both of them Ford powered, both of them Ford tried and true. This should be a good drag race. George Miller uncharacteristically leaving on Josh Pruitt.
A couple of young bloods right here as the young blood in the right lane. But look at that. Something went wrong down track for Josh Pruitt. You got to know that.
No doubt. P-Gas round number 3. Starting out with Zach Hall. I tell you what, David, it's really nice to see Zach Hall, homegrown in the later rounds of this competition. These guys have been with us forever, but he is taking on Jerry and the Freebird over here, Jerry Birch, and him and his brother Joey. They are a formidable race team.
And look at Joey Birch raise his hand. He can tell by half track. He knows that Freebird's on the pass as he knocks out Zach Hall right here.
That he does. Joey has watched that car go down the racetrack more than anybody in the world, I can assure you. And when he knows it's right, it's right.
Watch this lead right here. You can tell they got that car balanced and under control from start to finish. That is a credit.
And traction and power applied equals wins. Now then, Colby Welch taking on the shaking bacon. This car.
Well, you got 5 rounds to win to call yourself a winner in B-Gas here today. But like I said, that last round, looked like horsepower made that win for you. May have been a little late on the tree. What was going on?
Yeah, I'm learning on that one, trying to get better, but car ran them down, so.
Well, here we go. The elder statesman, Troy Leitner, taking on the 17-year-old moonbeam right there of Colby Welch. And Colby Welch giving him all he wants in that purple Ranchero.
That he did, just talking to Colby. He was a little bit late on the round before, and Troy Leitner didn't give him no slack, but Colby Welch drove it back around.
What a great looking shot of the starting line right there. As you see the cars burning out, there's TJ York going to take on Todd Napier. 2 good friends right here, but I guarantee you from the water box to the turnout, they're going to go at each other hard.
David, this is a battle of the hillbillies, the Greenhorn hillbilly against the atomic hillbilly. And I tell you, good drag race and TJ York getting it done. A-Gas, the kings of the Southeast Gas, round number 3. We've got Steve Davis, Mr. Spinning himself, taking on Leslie Horn and the Chick Wagon. A couple of good smoking hits, get them hot, boys, as they say, smoke them if you got them. Now, these 2 guys, this should be a great drag race.
Yeah, you got the Steve Norwood horsepower over there for Steve Davis. You got the G-Foot horsepower under the hood for Leslie Horn, but something goes wrong with Leslie Horn.
I gotta believe Leslie started out in high gear or something like that. Now then, Gabriel Burrow coming off of that celebrated and ecstatic win over Alan Dalton. What is he doing, David? Needing another Corvette. This time, the Silver Spring driven by Kenneth Phillips. And I tell you, if Gabriel can pull this one off, he will be the man of the hour, no doubt about it, because Kenneth just don't make mistakes. This guy knows how to win drag races. That's obvious. Let's see what happens on this one, David. Good clean lead on both cars, as you was just saying, David. This is going to be a finish line shot.
No doubt. Look at this. Look from behind right here. This 58 Corvette. Look at, oh man, they can get any better than that. He sees Elizabeth Phillips watching her husband pull the win out right there at the finish line.
SEGA round 4, David. You know, I got to tell you.
There's Todd Oden. He's going to get a competition single right here as his opponent broke. And you can see Todd got the window rolled down in that big giant Gorilla right there that he likes to drive. He's going to take a nice Saturday afternoon stroll down this London Dragway track.
I was kind of joking with Todd earlier. You know, Todd, you only had to fight for a few of these wins today. He's had the luck on his side. Now, the crazy horse, Larry Noel, taking on George Miller. Will George Miller be so lucky as to put the crazy horse on the trailer as he did a minute ago with Josh Pruitt? I'm sorry. I don't know about that. I believe the crazy horse has done the deed. As you can see, his daughter Elizabeth Phillips now that she's married Kenneth over there, getting very excited about it. Now, B-Gas round 4. There is a tremendous number of cars in B-Gas, David, and on this particular one, now we've got Jerry Bird taking on the Junkyard Dog, and Jerry and Joey over here letting them know what a celebrated win that was, because they knew it was going to be a close one.
That one was one on the line as Jerry Birch cut an incredible light on Danny Bird right there, because Bird actually out-ET'd him, so the whole shot win goes to Jerry Birch.
That it did, David. Now then, we're going to slow things down a little bit. TJ York, Greenhorn Hillbilly, Colby Welch, Moonbeam. This, you know, should be a pretty good matchup. It's Ford Chevrolet. It's young versus older. TJ ain't too old, but he's got some years on old Colby. And Colby is hungry That I do know. But I also know that T.J. York has had a win before, and I know he's thirsty for another.
There you see the lead right there, the Greenhorn Hillbilly. He really put it on him on the starting line. And you see Jeff Madden, our starter, he points it out and says T.J. York's going to take the win right there. But what a showing for Colby Welch.
That it was, and I tell you, got to be proud of these guys.
Looks to me like odds are in your favor, with the exception of one Mark Hackett. He was just as tough as Peffley last year.
Mark Hackett is a real good competitor. His car's running really strong.
Well, I mean, you know, the other big news here, Rick, this will be the first time that a Chevrolet may win Superstock.
We need a Chevrolet in the winner's circle.
Well, you know, I've been waiting on it for a year and a half now, and today may be the day. Mark Hackett, we finally made it to the first final for Superstock in 2020, and lo and behold, there's not a Plymouth in the other lane. It's going to be a Chevrolet.
That's going to be an extremely odd feeling, Mitch, because it's rare that doesn't happen, or that it happens that way. Right. Yep. So we're gonna, you know, we got a tough competitor though, and a Chevrolet that we get to run against this time. So that's going to be a little different too. But you know, we've been running good all day. We've been getting faster every pass, so it's going to be really good. It's going to be a close race.
And fast forward right here, they're on the starting line, ready to go. There's Varner in the right lane, the number 2 qualifier. Number 1 qualifier, as we said before, Hackett in the left lane.
Everything on the line for Rick Varner here, David. He has everything to prove in this run. He has to prove his first win within the SEGA. He has to prove the first Chevrolet win in Superstock. On the other side of that fence, Mark Hackett, he's got to defend that Ford, that Mercury Power, as he refers to it. Maintain his dignity, his position as the top of the Superstock category.
There you see Elizabeth Phillips bringing up,
bringing Rick Varner into the bulbs up here. And I tell you what, Cody's gonna get us a good shot of that. Look at the racing swing. Sit down here and we'll watch this big old heavy Superstock big block power car leave the start line. Watch them Superstocks, watch them supercars glide in, carry this car to the finish line. That car moving around, both cars are stimulating the track getting a little slick, and here they come through. Mark Hackett, Mercury Poisons, taking the Superstock win, David.
yeah, and what a great one it is. Look at the trophy girl right there. That is a beautiful shot of Mark with her. So
I tell you, Mark is deserving, and I tell you, I bet he's saying, they wasn't a Plymouth in the other lane. Don't matter. I can still win a drag race.
and look at the lettering he added to that car over the winter time. That is just, we talk about period correct. That is just beautiful.
That it is. He has a very pristine race car, David, and he's getting ready to have you come in, and I'm going to shut up and let him
Mark
talk.
Hackett, what a great job. You guys, you and your wife Rhonda really are a great team, and this car performs so.
This is just for
Mark Hackett, congratulations on your win here today at London, Kentucky. What a great job. You and your wife Rhonda got this car really working well.
Well, I appreciate it, David. We did work hard on it all winter long. We've tested a bunch. We've changed a bunch. We've got a corner full of parts that don't work. And so we just keep trying stuff till we get it better, and that's what we did.
Well, number 1 qualifier, you set the tone early, and you marched right through this field today. And a good field as Superstock is really coming on and getting more and more tough competitors.
It is. I was telling somebody earlier, we had 13 cars this weekend. That's the most we've ever had at the racetrack at one time. We've got a good, diverse group of cars. The dynamic has totally changed in the class. There's a good amount of fast cars, and everybody else is getting their cars quicker. So it's going to be a really good year, a whole lot different year than last year, no doubt.
I couldn't agree with you more, and this just adds to what you're doing out here today as you take home the win in our first race of the year and, get an early jump on those points. I know you're going to chase those.
Absolutely. It was really tight last year in the points, and we want to do everything we can to get ahead and stay ahead. So, yeah, absolutely.
Well, Mark, I know you probably got some fine sponsors you want to help talk about and plug that get you up and down the road.
We do. We always want to thank the SEGA sponsors, Summit, Hoosier that makes the tire for us, CPM, everybody that helps out to make this deal happen. We always want to thank them. Jimmy Bridges back home in Nashville helps me out with some stuff on the car, always does a fantastic job. My buddies Chris and Amos and Kevin Shaw, they're always there when I need help. But I tell you one thing I want to do for this race. I want to dedicate this race to my mom. She's at home battling some health issues right now, and she loves to come to the race. And I think every race she came to last year, we won. So this one's for her, David.
Well, a very fitting man to give that to your mom, and we'll be keeping her in our prayers. Your winner today from Lebanon, Tennessee, Mark and his wife, Rhonda Hackett.
Absolutely. Thank you, David.
David, what an inspirational interview with Mark there. Now then, we are moving in to the
Todd
final
Oden, brother,
round of
congratulations on winning your way into the finals for the first race of the 2020 season. Just finding out you're going to have old nemesis Larry Noel. How about a shakeup like that?
That's exciting because, you know, when me and Larry run, it's always some good stuff, so I'm fired up.
It is. Larry hadn't had the best season last year, switched to a new car, had some growing pains with that, but he may be back on top of his game.
Yeah, that thing's bad, fast, and he's a good driver, so it'll be a good run. I'm looking forward to it.
You're not the only one. I think everybody in Kentucky's been waiting on this.
I'm ready. I hope he's ready too. It should be great.
Larry Noel, what a pleasure it is to see you back in the finals, my friend. Bad news could be, maybe, who knows until it's over. You got Todd Oden going to be in the other lane. But the point is, the Crazy Horse is no stranger to winning. The Crazy Horse ain't no stranger to a championship. It's just been a little bit distant. It looks like to me, maybe it's back.
We hope so. We're still learning to drive the car, but we're getting better every round, and I think we'll have a good race here for sure. So it'll be an exciting final.
Well, you saw Todd Oden in that shot right there, Mitch. I think he's lost maybe 20, 30 pounds, and he's trying to get himself in a better shape to perform here in SEGA.
That may be, or it could be just that I've gained 20 or 30 pounds and made him look 20 or 30 lighter, David. But I'm going to tell you what I do know. I do know that Larry has traded that cowboy hat for a helmet, and I got some good in-car footage of this round here too, David. I tell you what, sit back, watch this drag race here as it unfolds. Good drag race. Larry is laid on the starting line. You can't give Todd Oden nothing.
And there you see a jiggling Oden crowd as they look from behind here. Wide load on that 58 Del Rey. And just watch it when Sean changes gears. And I see that rear end sit down.
Man, this big old heavy car leaving that hard, David. Now, this is from the burnout right here, crossing the finish line. Both cars, David, I wanted to kind of put this in there. You see Larry in the other lane. This gives you a true driver's perspective. They're staged. They're fixing to go into almost a double pre-stage. This is how drag races go. You see Larry, I'm sorry, you see Todd pulling away out Larry's window. Larry knows it's over. There goes Todd giving the jubilation. Gets those reassuring lights of victory. Todd Oden, Double X C-Gas winner.
What a great win for Todd as well.
One of the most emotional victory lanes I think I've ever had. It's hard as an announcer to stay objective when your friends are out here, and I know it's been tough, especially for you. But we're missing a lot of people, and your dad is such a major factor in your life and your racing. Can you put it into words right now?
I've had a picture of him on the dash all weekend. My family's been here, my wife, my son, my cousin, all the guys from work, Greg, everybody, Billy, Cammy. I'm just so overcome with emotion because I wanted to win so bad. I wanted to make my dad proud. I just wanted it for my family. We worked so hard, and I just want to make my dad proud. And Robert and Frank, I mean, everybody's associated with a car. I just want them to know how hard we work and how much we love them and how much we miss them.
Todd Oden, there's not a person on this property that knows that you didn't do your father proud in everything that you do, from the way you carry your business, the way you carry your manhood, and the way you race. You do it 100% above board, and I know your father will be very proud of the man that you are.
Well, I appreciate that. He put the pressure on me to be everything that he wanted me to be, and to step up and always be that man. And I love him. I thank him so much. I loved him all my heart, and it's all about family, and that's what Southeast Gasser stands for. It's why I love this so much. It's why I love all the vision Quayne has, you, all my friends, Mitch. I mean, it's why it's so special. I mean, it's why it's so great to come here and race. You know, it's great to win, but it's great to be surrounded by all our friends and just be able to compete with all these great people.
Well, talking about your competition today, you did a great job. This car performed as it always has. You love this 58 Delray. Your dad did. This is the car that you started in, and I think this probably makes victory, 13 for you in your career on Southeast Gassers?
I think that is right. And let me say before I forget, I want to thank Mr. Vinson and Lee, his son, and Judd at the shop, and I want to thank Jeff at One Way for getting us a set of heads and helping us with our stuff so that Mr. Vinson could put it together and make it work. And I'm just so thankful for all the sponsors that help Southeast Gassers, and I don't know what to say. I'm so overcome with emotion. I'm just ready to celebrate with my family and be happy.
David, I tell you, you just gotta love Otto, his entire family, his entire
First final of the year.
And,
Who do we find? Jerry Birch,
Freebird. The
Freebird.
final rounds for
Thank you, Mitch. It has been a long winter. We've been doing a few things to it, but not as much as TJ though. You can see by the performance.
It's been a tough road to get here. A lot of good racers. Got to be on your game to get here, and we got one more here with Birch. He's tough as heck, and it's just great to be back with the family and be able to race. It's been great.
Well, there's no doubt Jerry and his brother know exactly how to win a drag race, so you definitely have a tough competitor there. But I've been watching this Greenhorn Hillbilly all day. You know, it is not taking no prisoners. It is literally killing the competition.
Yes, it is. We got a pretty good motor. Mr. Slagle stepped on board for a sponsorship, and Dave Watson, Ruppel, Doc Watson put it together at a winner, and I built it honestly just to beat that man right there next door to me. So I ain't gonna lie about it. So we're gonna see what we can do with it.
Well, the Lord works in mysterious ways. You know, be careful what you ask for, you may get it. Yes, I believe you just got it.
Yes, I did. We'll see how it works out. Thanks.
David, there's nothing I like no better than a comment like that. You know, I built this for that purpose, and now the stage is set to see if he is going to be successful in that or not. I'm just going to bet you that Jerry and Joey Birch has done some preparing over the winter too.
There's no doubt about that. This is why he's taking the gloves off. He's got into the pocketbook. He's got some good sponsors. He's going after the Freebird and this Big Gas World Championship.
You know, both of these guys have won races. Obviously, Jerry has won more than TJ, but Jerry been racing longer as well. And, you know, it's just the competition. Now, we got to talk for just a minute. This is B-Gas. 32-car field, David. These guys here, whichever one of these two wins this, won 5 rounds of professional heads-up, no breakout drag racing today. That, my friend, is a testament. Let's just sit back and listen to the sounds of this.
There you see Joey Birch. He thought he had him there, but just at the end, TJ York takes the victory. Look at this lead right here by the Freebird. Ground pounding action brought to you by Cody on the starting line, doing a tremendous job. Look at that angle. What
there
a drag race.
David. Absolutely. The official TJ York Greenhorn Hillbilly taking that 5th round victory today. Congratulations, TJ.
TJ had a great job, and also had his dad here, the founder of the Greenhorn Hillbilly name.
TJ York, what a great day. You overcame 28 competitors to come out and wearing the cup today, buddy.
It was a tough day. This was a big field. A lot of great cars today. B-Gas has stepped up this year. I mean, there are probably 12, 14 cars, man, that could just win at any time, and everybody's driving good. It's just it was a tough field today. It was fun.
We had 32 entered, attrition got a few, and we started 28 actually made first round. And when you got a guy like Tim Bailey, your defending world champion, qualifying in a 10 hole, and you think, oh, I'm running the 10th qualifier, and then you look over, it's the world champ. I mean, that's a tough matchup.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's you can't, like I said, you can't give nobody anything. It's the 10 car can beat the 1 car anytime. The 20 car can beat the 1 car anytime. It's that tight in this field. B-Gas is it's getting cutthroat, and it's getting hard to get here. So you got to take it and love it.
Well, I know you did a lot of work over the off season. Any that you can tell us about, and the people that helped make it happen for you.
Oh yes, I mean I had great help. I mean it starts with my family. My wife let me do it to begin with. I sold a pristine 1972 Nova just to build this motor.
Just the motor now.
Just the motor. And I got to thank my dad. I got to thank all my friends that help. I mean, Todd Heyman's come in and help and everything. And then I got some sponsors. I got Jeg stepped up and sponsored me this year. Scott Lieber from Scott Rods. Steve Taylor come all the way from Texas. He did my intake and carburetors. He's a great guy. Jack Slagle, my dad's racing partner that they raced 30-some years together. He stepped up on board, was a sponsor this year. He made a lot of this happen too. They're just Rick from CP. They're multi people, and Dave Watson and Heath, that my engine builders. We dissected every little thing. I mean, I was telling Birch back there, and it's not exaggeration. I went to him over the winter, and I told him, I need you to watch the Southeast Gasser videos, and you watch the Freebird car. I says, and whatever we got to do, we got to be able to outrun that car. I said, if we can outrun that car, we're going to have a pretty good season. So that was my goal over the winter, not giving anybody else no slack. I mean, everybody's tough, but I said, we got to outrun that Freebird car.
Well, and you talked about your dad, and you talked about your dad's racing partner. That's where this Greenhorn Hillbilly name comes from for you, isn't it, TJ?
Yes, sir. My dad run a B-Gas 56 Chevrolet. It was called the Greenhorn Hillbilly. And he's here. My boys and my dad is here today for this win. At Knoxville, they weren't here, so this is really great to have the whole family here for it. And he run B-Gas, and the first car my father ever bought me was a 55 Chevrolet. So that's kind of got a love in my heart. And then my dad, he's 82 years old now, and there I started watching the videos, and I got out of racing. And I told my dad, I called him up one day. I says, you got enough in you to do one more? And he says, well, what do you want to do? And I showed him. He watched the video. He says, let's do that. So that's where this all started.
Where's Dad at? Let's bring him in here.
He's right there.
Come on in here, Mr. York. Let's get up in here. Come on. Mr. York coming in here. What's his first name?
Jack. You got to talk loud.
Jack York. Congratulations, Mr. Jack York. How does it make you feel when your son takes it and puts it in victory lane?
Hey, I told him I'm 81 years old. I said that's a good birthday present. It's about a few days early, but thank God he got it.
Well, he has mentioned you many times in your racing and spurring him in for his love of racing, and the Greenhorn Hillbilly name has been carried on.
For a long time, and I'm glad he's done it, and he's doing good, and I'm proud of him. Very proud of him.
We're proud for you too. Glad to have you here. Your winner today, TJ York and his dad, right here at London, Kentucky. Great job.
David, I tell you what, the winners of the Southeast Gassers Association are unique. And
you have found yourself in the final round of the A-Gas category, what I lovingly call the kings of the Southeast Gassers Association. You and the standing king of the A-Gas, Kenneth Phillips, going to be in the other lane. Brother, how in the God's name do you prepare for that?
When you get in that car and you put that helmet on, you don't pay any attention whoever that is beside you. All you hear is a loud motor. So block it out and race him just like you was racing somebody else. That's all you can do. Well, one man told me one time before, you race everybody just like it's a championship. I remember that man telling me that, so that's what I'm going to do.
I was just down talking to Spenny Davis. Obviously, he's your competitor going into the final round of the first A-Gas championship this year, A-Gas win this year. As I told him, not only is he racing in the final round of the Kings of the Southeast Gassers, but he is racing the official king of the A-Gas category. And I asked him, how does he prepare for something like that? And he said he just races you like anybody else.
That's the way I'm going to race him, too. Spenny's my buddy, and me and him's always going on with each other and all. And so I'm glad it come down to me and him, and we can go out there and just see the best man win.
Well, now he says that best man's going to be him. He's going to win this round, he said.
He told me that too. He said, I'm glad he sees I'm going to be out running. So,
well, do you agree with him?
That's what he wants to think, and I'm going to let him just go ahead.
So you believe in just showing a man?
Right. Yeah. We'll just get up there and just see the best man win.
Just show him who's the king of the Southeast Gassers Association.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He has got that thing running now, and he's been working hard for the last couple years, but he's getting it down there.
Oh, he's a deserving soul. Don't think he's not. He is due a win. He is by all means. He has put forth the hard work, the dedication, without question. And he will not lift. He will drive it to the bitter end. I can assure you of that one as well. So you can't bank on him lifting. You can't bank on him, doing anything too bad wrong, because like you, he's a good, focused driver. So as I told him, this has the makings of just a good drag race.
Yep, he is. If I could make him get out once he got in the car, I wouldn't have to worry about it, because he'll say, nope, I ain't getting out. I'm in to stay.
Well, good luck to both of you. I can't wait to see the outcome.
All right, thank you.
What a great couple of interviews right there. You're right, Steve Davis, very deserving. And so Kenneth Phillips is the man right now that he's got to knock off. And I know he wants to knock him off. He wants to beat the best to win his first ever Southeast Gasser event.
That he does, but no matter what kind of friends that Kenneth and Steve may be, Kenneth is on a mission this year. Kenneth finally got him a championship in 2019. He wants to be the first SEGA competitor to win back-to-back championships. He's in a position to do that. There's a couple of others out there that can do that also. Tim Bailey being one. He could win the first to win a back-to-back championship. So, Kenneth Phillips is going to treat this drag race right here as if it's the last round and the championship deciding round at the last event of the season. I can tell you that. Now, Steve Spinney, everything to gain, nothing to lose. Will he gamble for it, or is he going to be a smart racer and try to go lead right and beat him in the finish line? Good launch, but Steve was a little late.
Steve was late, and that's going to cost him, I think, right here, because you can't give Kenneth Phillips anything. Oh, my goodness. The winner right there going to be at the line, the silver streak of Kenneth Phillips.
Kenneth Phillips, you got a small car, but you're going to have to add on a room to your house for all these trophies, son. You are dominating this A-Gas like nobody's business.
That's what we come to do, and it worked out good for us. There was going to be some stiff competition here this weekend, and they was, but we come off with the win.
Well, I know we're not, as an announcer, I'm not supposed to announce ETs, and we won't talk about those other than they were tight. You had this car very consistent and very fast.
Yeah, it run about the same numbers all day. It wasn't the numbers I wanted, but they was good numbers, and it ended up taking the trophy home.
And that's what it's all about. You don't pull this thing all the way up here and do all the work you do in the shop to go home with second place.
Right, yep. We come to win, what we come for, and it all worked out for us.
Well, anybody, I know you got a lot of people help you. Anybody you want to give some special credit to right now?
Bob, the carburetor Bob, he helps me a lot, and Billy Edwards, he helps me a lot, and Gene, he does my motors, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Well, enough said right there. You got the great triumphant right there that you just named, 2019 World Champ. You got a good stranglehold going right now with the first race taking it for this 2020. You thinking about back-to-back already?
That's what I'm thinking. I was thinking it last year at the end, and that's what I'm after.
Well, we'd be very interested in seeing that nice shiny jacket again with those shoes at the banquet.
That's what I'll be having on next time when we get there.
Hey, your winner here today, Campobella, South Carolina, Kenneth Phillips, a silver streak too. Congratulations, Kenneth.
Thank you.
Well, Mitch Stock, we finally get off the ground in 2020, and what a day we had here at London Dragway.
David, finally getting off the ground is the key word here for this year, and I guess it took this long into the year to set the stage for the dramatic drag race that we got to witness today, David. I'm telling you, from the winners to T.J. York, his dad being there, Todd Oden's very emotional win, Kenneth Phillips, what I'm proclaiming to be his fifth straight win. Maybe it's unofficial, but I know that he's had a string of straight wins in this A-Gas category, which has got to be a record in the A-Gas Southeast Gassers Association. Just dramatic day of racing. I tell you what, it's just amazing. And then finally a Chevrolet in the finals and of Superstock. It was just great.
It really was, and we saw a record number of competitors come out, especially for the first race of the year. And the fan count, I mean, the people were lined down the racetrack on both sides, and I just continue to be in awe of how the fans are responding to this form of racing.
In light of all the things that's going on in the world today, and yes, the number of people we had there today, which was greater than last year's crowd at this same exact racetrack, David, I tell you, it just speaks volumes for what the Southeast Gassers' mission and message is, and its outreach to people, and I'm glad to know that I have a lot of company of people who love old-fashioned drag racing just like I do.
Well, and to the
the family that we always talk about. You heard Todd Oden mention that today, how the family wrapped his arms around him in the loss of his father, and he's had many other losses, a crew member, Robert, and we've had other losses we mentioned here today, but that family reaches around each other, pulls each other tight, and we continue on.
Yeah, David, I mean, it's certainly, we need to make a comment of the fact, Todd's not the only one that lost family members this year. We just, it's just, it was a recent, it was a situation to where it's just that Todd and his family, I think they just pulled in on us so much, like that, and not trying to single nobody out, but I tell you what, it's just the entire Southeast Gassers Association. What a family we are, and it's just such a warm thing to have.
It is, and as it continues to grow and snowball, we saw the interview you had earlier with the gentleman, and he's an old school racer, and he said, I was out of it. I didn't want to be back until I saw the Southeast Gassers.
Oh yeah, I mean he was racing back in the 50s. When drag racing first started, he knows when he sees something that reminds him of what drag racing was yesterday, that's coming from an authentic source. That ain't just somebody saying yeah. No, that's authorized representation of that's what it was like yesteryear.
What a hot day of racing. Nightfall here. We got the Daniel Boone Forest behind us and a little bit of fog rolling in with all the humidity today. I mean, I don't think we could have said it any better. What a great day for the Southeast Gassers as we continue this 2020 season.
Definitely, David. I'm like you, long day. I'm ready to get out of here, let everybody go to bed themselves, cut these lights out. Our stars, as you always say, the lights go out, lights come on, the stars come out. We had that certainly today. Again, I'm ready to cut this thing off, get out of here, let these creatures that go bump in the night in this vast Daniel Boone Forest, let them have their life back without us interrupting them with all these lights and noise going on. So, the only thing we've got left, David, is just to give our thanks to the good Lord above.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll be glad to do that, Mitch.
I'd be honored to listen to you do it, David.
Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the traveling mercies that you've given our racers and our fans for being here today, Lord. We thank you for the sacrifices they've made to be here, to enjoy the event that we've put on today. We pray that we always put that on to glorify you, Lord, and to glorify our country and everything that we stand for here in the Southeast Gassers. Lord, we do all these things in the precious name of your Son, Jesus Christ, who died for our sins, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Folks, make sure you catch us next event, Mooresville Dragway, Race City, USA, coming up July the 26th and 27th. Make sure you visit the Southeast Gassers on the World Wide Web at southeastgassers.com, also on Facebook, and make sure you check out our updated schedule for any of the events near you. We'd love to have you come out to one of our shows. And make sure you always look at SewellImagery.com if you're looking for any of the shots from the races to purchase.